Hi, buddy. Welcome to another mastermind of No Agent Left Behind. We're here to deliver all the agents on this God's green earth. Okay. Every real estate agent, doesn't matter what brokerage you're with. We're here to deliver you value. We appreciate you watching this video today. And remember, you can always join us live every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. We get rocking and we want to deliver you value. But I've got a special guest on here today, and what we're going to talk about today is mindset. Okay, mindset, I believe, is one of the most important things that you can have, not just in your business, but in life in general. And so today, I've got Jerry Becker out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He's a top producing agent, runs a team. He's a great servant leader, loves to help people. And so he is here today to give you all the information you need on how to change your mindset so that basically you can be more successful. So Jerry, go ahead and take it away, brother.
And I want to give it back to Matt. He's an amazing individual, has a team there in Austin. And I want to thank him for everything he does. He showed this to me back in October of 2021, and it just made sense. And one of the things I wanted to come to Real Broker was to basically be able to tap into this incredible resource in person in Matt Middlestat, to also be a resource for my team as well. So he's always putting out and helping agents, no matter if they're on his team or not. And so we want to applaud Matt for all that he does for everyone, not just in Real Broker, but other agents as well. So thank you, Matt. I'm going to share my screen here.
Thank you so much for those kind words, Jerry. And
you are very welcome.
The reason I partnered up with you is the way that you take care of all your agents and people. Again, it's a mindset. You want to hang around with people, okay, that are basically have the same mindset as you, and that's what Jerry has. So, all right, but Jerry's going to go ahead and get going. Thanks again, Jerry.
Hey, you're very welcome. All right, so I chose a little Olympics theme here for us to basically get the gold medal. It takes a winning mindset to succeed, not only in business, but also in our personal lives, because it does, they're not separate, and they interact with each other. And the things that I'm going to show you today can help you put things in place and create a mindset that's going to help you create more happiness, more wealth in your life. So let's start here with, let's see. So I have a program I call Good Morning Champions. So good afternoon, champions. One of the things that, one of the books that I read was goes through some principles where it helped me a lot, because it taught me how to set my mindset starting in the morning. I think that's very important for us, whether we're agents or people in our family, is to start with the right mindset. And those things that we do first thing in the morning make a huge difference in how we actually go through our day and how we interact with other people. And so they gave a couple of suggestions of things we can do in the morning. Some of these we can do later on during the day. But these are the things that I began to implement into my life that began to make an immediate difference in the results. I think a lot of times we look for things in the physical world, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. But we look for things in the physical world, but we don't always look at what we're saying to ourselves, that inner voice, right, that talks to us all the time. You know that voice, it's talking to you right now. That voice is the voice where, if you give it suggestions, can then begin to change the conversations that we have with ourselves. And as we change that conversation, it also affects our outer world. So we start with our inner world, and it affects our outer world. So one of the tools that I use that's been very powerful is meditation. And I have used this to reduce stress. I mean, think about if we've got, all these people that we're responsible for as realtors, and demands that people are making, the title company, the lender, the inspector, and all these people we're interacting with, and it can get stressful. We begin to build up that stress. And if we don't do things to reduce the stress and get ourselves in a good mindset, it builds up, and it then can affect us, especially when we go home to our families and we're interacting with our spouse, kids, and so forth. And we begin to take that stress, and we then kind of take it out on them. And these are ways that we can put more peace in our life and more happiness in our life. And through meditation, actually, the CEO of the largest hedge fund in the world, Bridgewater, he does a meditation in the middle of the day every day. He does a 20-minute meditation and gets him focused back on what he's basically getting focused back on what he needs to do, and then also getting rid of all that stress that he's going through in the beginning part of the day. So focusing on breathing is the big thing. I know a lot of people are like, well, don't think, don't think, don't think, but you want to let your thoughts go in and out. You just want to let them pass. And in a lot of times that I do a meditation, it will actually generate thoughts where I have to get up and write down things because I get such great ideas during this time where I'm just calming myself, and I'm beginning to just let the ideas flow. It's a great way to actually ask a question and then have answers come to you. And the universe will provide whatever it is that you need. You just have to ask the right questions. The second one is the affirmations. Of what I have is called the Book of Manifestations, because these aren't just dreams or things I'm going to say, but these are things that I'm actually manifesting. These are things that are going to manifest in my life, and it's just a given. It's not something that I'm hoping for or wishing for. You want these affirmations to be in a positive present tense, and they can be very general or they can be very specific. So one of the affirmations I have is I love driving my new BMW and my new Tahoe, right? I love living in my new house or new home if you're looking for a new home, right? These are affirmations that you can do either on a daily basis or you can just do on a regular basis. But they begin to plant into your subconscious the ideas that are going to manifest in your life. It could be as general as I feel great all the time. I always have positive thoughts. One of our team mottos is everything always works out for me, right? I continue saying everything always works out for me. I don't know how this is going to, something comes up in a contract, like I don't know how it's going to work out, but somehow we're going to work this out and we're going to get through this. And then that can have an effect on your clients as well, because if you get all stressed and you begin to kind of shut down, then that can affect your clients. So the more you're like the problem solver in a lot of situations in a real estate transaction, if you're the one that's calm, again, begins to look for solutions and so forth. If you need help, obviously, if you have a great mentor and leader, ask your leader. But a lot of times those ideas come to me when I'm not even thinking about it, and I'll find solutions to those problems. So writing affirmations on a regular basis is very powerful in helping you move forward because it helps you focus on those things that are important in your life. Again, putting those things in family, money, health, those types of things in your affirmations and focusing on those, and then obviously following up and taking the action necessary, right? The third thing that's very powerful is visualizations. Your mind doesn't know the difference between you closing your eyes and you seeing yourself. They've done a lot of studies on this. They use basketball players in some situations where they actually had a group that shot free throws and had a group that shot free throws using visualization, and there was almost no difference between those two groups because they were showing themselves to be successful. And a lot of the successful athletes in the world use visualization to help them prepare for those games that they're going to play and help them be successful. The fourth thing is reading for personal development. First thing in the morning and last thing at night. And the great thing about last thing at night, it then puts in your subconscious, and your mind thinks about it and dwells on that overnight and begins to put these things into our mind. They become a habit. So creating the habits that you need in order to be successful, it starts with the mindset that then creates the thought, which creates the action, which creates the emotions that allow you to be successful, right? Getting up every day and celebrating life can be one of those things hey, I need to get up and get moving, feel great about myself, and then you take that through the day with you. Reading for personal development, we'll go through a couple of books here in a second. Exercise and good health, obviously keeping your body in great health. That gets you, you get better sleep. You feel better. I know as I get older, I actually do yoga, and it actually helps not just with the mental aspect, but staying young and feeling young is being able to move, and be able to tie your shoe, and those simple things we do on a daily basis. For those of you that are a little older, flexibility has a lot to do with it. Flexible mind, but also a flexible body, staying in good health. It's important for you to be at your peak, and then for you to live a long life, if that's one of the goals that you want to have. Journaling is a great way to write your thoughts. Some people like to get their thoughts down on paper, and it's also a way that you can keep a timeline of your accomplishments, and rewarding yourself and setting a goal, but also then writing these things by journaling. And you can go back and look through the year or years and see the things and see where you were, and see the thoughts you were having at that time, and you can begin to see the progress you're making over time by looking back in your journal, right? And maybe someday, hey, you take that and you write a book, right, about how you became successful. One of the key things that I share with my people is what you focus on expands. If you're focused on problems, if you're focused on what's going wrong, what's wrong in the world and so forth, that's what you're going to get more of. You begin to focus on, hey, how do I find a solution? How do I help people? How do I become a servant leader? What is it that you want to focus on, rather than focusing on the problem? Begin to focus on the solution, right?
Hey, Jerry, real quick, not to interrupt you, but on that one point,
Sure.
I had just recently, I've been working on reaching back out to home buyers that I sold a house to and sending them CMAs, right? And I've been doing that for probably the last couple weeks. And all of a sudden, I got a reach out from a client of mine, okay, that hadn't even opened up the email yet, but I sent her a CMA 3 days ago. She hadn't opened the email up because I've got a system where I can track it. And she reached out this morning and said, hey, I'm looking to sell my condo. Could you reach out to me and let's discuss? And so I called her and I was like, hey, I actually just sent you an email like 4 days ago. She goes, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. I said, it's just funny that you're contacting me, but I contacted you 3 days ago and you didn't even see the email. But just what you're saying there, what you putting in is what you're getting out. Okay. The universe is going to give you. So I started focusing on the sellers, and guess what? I'm getting listings. You focus on buyers, you're going to get more buyers. So what you want to do is whatever you want, focus. If you want a lot of stuff, if you want sellers and buyers, then focus a little bit of time on your sellers, a little bit of time on your buyers, but do it consistently. Right. So anyways, just had to share that because you were talking about that.
Fantastic story. I actually call that T-mail, like telepathic mail. When you think about somebody and they think about you, and you reach out and contact each other, I call that T-mail. A good illustration of what you focus on expands is, as a team leader, sometimes I have to get in a conversation with somebody on the team, like one of the gentlemen that's just got on my team recently, fairly new age. He's been in a while, but hasn't really done a whole lot. And he kept thinking, I told him to reach out to his sphere of influence, but in his mind, he was having some negative thoughts about whether people would want to work with him or not, because he's not experienced, right? And I said, wait, you can say the word we. You get to borrow all the experience that I have when you talk to these people. Say, hey, I'm on a team and we can do this, we can help you. And once he got that he could use the team as helping his client, and he had the resources, and he knew that he had somebody watching his back is going to be there to help him out. And that's the importance of a mentor, is somebody who's going to be there to walk you through this, especially when you first start out. And now he's like picked up the phone, called people, he's got this deal, he's got it just like turned on a faucet, right? So what he was focusing on was keeping him from having business come to him, right? And once we worked on what he was thinking about and how he saw what he could do for people, then it's just now he's going to be very successful at becoming a real estate agent. And here's the thing: you decide what your day will be like, right? I don't know if anybody listens to horoscopes or reads horoscopes, that kind of thing, but you decide what your day will be like, set the tone for a great day, start the morning. Every now and then I'll be in my car and I'll, have a little road rage with somebody cutting me off. And then I have to like wake up and go, you know what? I want to have a great day. I'm not going to let that bother me. It's not that you're going to have challenges and things come up during the day, but how long do you hold on to those things? How long do you hold on to those negative emotions, right? That's not something that I want to hold on to. Those are minor things that I want to let go. My phone doesn't work. Anybody have, your cell phone, like your texting doesn't work anymore and you have to reboot. Those are things where don't let that ruin your day, right? Don't let little things like that. Don't let somebody else ever ruin your day, right? So very important. And one of the questions to ask is, who do I need to become in order to reach my goals and live my best life? Who do I need to become, right? One important thing I began to learn was excuses, getting rid of excuses. Like if it's up to me, if it's going to be, it's up to me, right? You're going to need to take things, and the only person that I can really affect, right, is myself, and then how I see the world and how I interact with other people, right? And so who do I need to become in order to reach my goals? Who do I need to become a great leader, a great agent, somebody that serves other people and makes a difference in people's lives, right? So that's the question we should be asking, and then the solutions will come to us. I always say ABC, but ABL, always be learning, always be learning. Because if we're not growing, we're dying, right? If we're not growing. This applies even to money. If I put money in an account which is making zero, or even the equity in my home, which is literally making zero, right? Over time, it's going to lose value because of inflation, right? And it's kind of the same way for us. If we're not adding value to ourselves, if we're not growing personally, then technically we're either staying still or we're dying. You ever met the person that's still driving a 1956 car and they still have the same clothes and all, they haven't come into the new. Some people just don't want to leave the old behind, right? But we're always evolving. I think the world we're in now is that it's always changing, right? Especially in technology, we can get run over with all the technology, like what's new. I even just went to a video class or how to do videos today, and they're talking about Instagram and TikTok and how to do these things and how long should your video be and so forth. Now it's a part of, it's a central part of, it can be an essential part of somebody's business and real estate, and those are things we may need to learn, right? We need to look for those things so we can keep up with the developments that are going on, because if our clients are out on their phone looking at properties and looking at videos about who are we, because people want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. People want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And so they might go out and search for you based on who you are and the videos and things that you put out on social media. I know that there are people that actually do that. I've gotten a lot of leads from referrals, and that's been the best source for me, because I already have somebody that's in my corner that's actually vouching for me, saying, hey, this person did a great job for me. And that's one of the important things of, once you have a client, that becomes, can become a really good referral source for you and create a lot of business. I've known agents that don't do any marketing because now they just live off of all the referrals they get from their clients, because they took care of their clients, they stay in touch. And that's one thing I didn't do early on in my career as a real estate agent. But I highly recommend using your CRM. We have Chime. There's a lot of ways to stay in touch with people 2, 3, 4, 5 years after, and they will pick up the phone. If they had a great experience for you, but you still need to stay in touch with them. So use those tools. I believe owning your own business is one of the best tools for self-development. As a real estate agent and a real estate investor, I find to be absolutely true. And people that I've met that run businesses and so forth, right? They learn different skills than people that are just in a job. They have to do more things. Sometimes they have to have better leadership skills and so forth. So you have a chance with owning your business. You treat this real estate business that you have as a business, not as a hobby, or you're going to get paid like a hobby. So create it like a business, be ready for challenges and to be learning and to grow as a person. Meet your challenges by asking empowering questions, right? Not just how do I pay my rent? You know, how do I get up in the morning? I don't want to get up in the morning. Like empowering questions are, how do I become a great person? How do I get better at becoming an agent? How do I get better at negotiations? Like asking those empowering questions is a really important part of being able to grow. Listen to self-development audios when you get ready in the morning. Turn your car into a university on wheels, right? Attend classes for your profession and for personal growth. There's a place called The Landmark, and the Landmark Forum is a class that I took. It really has you look at these things that may be holding you back, right? And if you let go of those things that are holding you back, then you can begin to run, you can move forward and be successful. Learning something new. I actually have Duolingo. I've been learning German. I'm challenging myself to learn German and Spanish, right? Spanish, obviously, because here in Texas, it's very helpful, but even German, that's my heritage. And so I wanted to keep my mind learning new things, right? Keep challenging yourself. If you're in residential real estate, maybe you look at commercial real estate. How do I learn about commercial real estate? And explore your artistic side. Maybe you're an artist, write stories, maybe you paint, maybe you're a videographer, drone, maybe you're a drone pilot or something, right? But begin to explore your artistic side, express your arts and talents on that side. A couple of great authors and so forth here that I listed for you. If you want to take a screenshot here, John Maxwell is phenomenal in all his leadership. You can find, his books. You can find him on YouTube. Chris Voss in Negotiations, Don't Split the Difference. That'll help you with helping your clients do great negotiations. Jim Rohn on Success Principles and Personal Development, and he's got so much phenomenal content. Napoleon Hill wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. Exactly what we're talking about today, a winning mindset, right? Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Robert Kiyosaki wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. How do we look at wealth and how do we look at money, right? From a gentleman named Kevin Trudeau, I learned these 5 keys to success. All right. And the first one is, who do you listen to? You listen to people who have achieved what you desire. You listen to people who have achieved what you desire. There's plenty of people out there writing books about real estate, but they haven't actually done it. They're just writing a book, right? You want to find people, you want to find a mentor that's doing what you're wanting to do, that's successful at what you want to do, and then you follow them. So be careful who your mentors are, who your leaders are. Pick the ones that are going to help you achieve what you want to achieve. The second thing is the main thing I'm talking about here, because it deals with the mental versus the physical world. How much of the physical versus the mental world contributes to your success? And if you talk to Kevin Trudeau, he's going to tell you that 99% or 99.9% is the mental world. So think about that. If I'm an agent and I learn all about contracts, and you go to school and you learn all about contracts, you learn about agency, you learn all these things, right, that are used in the real estate world. But if I don't have any people skills, if I don't have any desire, if I don't have any ambition to be successful, to have personal growth and so forth, I may never take the action to actually become a successful real estate agent. So yes, there's the physical world, and it does require paperwork and all that fun stuff, showing the houses. But if we don't have the mental capacity in order to see ourselves as successful, to see ourselves to even just get out and then go take the things that are necessary, right? If we don't have that desire, then we're probably never going to go anywhere, right? And never do it in the first place. So the training balance scale is more on the mental, the non-physical world, focusing on our winning attitude, or winning mental mindset, right? The teachability index. So what is your willingness to learn? So on a scale of 1 to 10, we need to be a 10. Now, we're not always a 10, but we need to be a 10 as often as we can. What is our willingness to learn? Because if we're going to focus and we're going to do always be learning and have personal growth, then we have to have this willingness to learn. But remember, we have habits. We have certain ways that we do things, certain ways that we think about things. And sometimes we have to ask, hey, is that really the truth? Is that the truth for me? How do I look at that in a different way, in a different light? Let me compare that to what I do know, and ask your mentor, right? And so what is my willingness to learn? And then what is your willingness to accept change? What it should say accept. What is your willingness to accept change? Because if you're willing to learn, but you're not willing to change anything, right? So you're not going to have any progress. So if you want things in your life to change, you have to change things in your life. If you want things in your life to change, you have to change things in your life. You've got to get used to this constant progression and learning, and it just becomes a part of who you are. I am a person who is always doing things that are going to improve myself so that I can have more, be more, and do more, right? The 4 steps of learning, underneath you'll see unconscious incompetence. This basically means we don't know, right? Somebody tells us something, we get into real estate, we didn't know anything about eminent domain, like we never heard of the word, we don't know anything about it, right? But now we know, so that's called conscious incompetence. We know about it, but we don't know anything really about it, right? We know the term, but then I study it, I become conscious competence, and then eventually, like tying your shoe, you don't even have to think about it, right? Unconscious competence means we begin to do things. So as we learn how to meet with a client and have this conversation about what they're looking for and how do we help them out and what their dreams and desires are and to buy a house and all that stuff, eventually it becomes unconscious competence. I don't have to think about the questions that I'm going to ask this person. When somebody says, hey, I want to write an offer, I don't have to think about the things that go in the blank. I already know which questions to ask. So we want to get to the point of unconscious competence in our lives when we're learning things, right? So the 4 steps of learning. And then again, as we begin to learn something new, we might go through these 4 steps again until we master that, whatever it is, the process or whatever we're learning. And then master the basics. So basically just learn these things, keep learning on them all the time. And those are the 5 keys to success. One of the things that really changed my life, and this is a mindset as well, an appreciation mindset is a way of looking at the world when we begin to appreciate those things that are in our lives currently. And someone had told me that if you don't begin to appreciate what you currently have, you can't have more. You've got to appreciate what's going on and what you currently have, your health, your monetary status, and everything, in order to be able to then say, okay, now I'm going to have more, I'm going to welcome more into my life. And then forgiveness is about letting go of the past, right? So for me to move forward, I need to let go of those things that are holding me back, or I might have a grudge against somebody, and letting it go. That's not hurting them, that's hurting you. That pain and so forth is hurting you. So wake up every morning and say thank you for the blessings in your life. Say thank you to other people. Just constantly doing that will create a person that's appreciative of the people and things that they have in their life, and people will take notice. You'll begin to attract appreciation and things into your life as well that you like. Learning to let go of experiences that do not serve you. So what's not serving you, what's holding you back, what's keeping you from living your best life and so forth. Sometimes we just have to notice those things. Maybe we have to go get some professional help to have somebody help us see things that we don't see ourselves, right? Sometimes it's right in front of us, but we don't notice it. Forgive yourself so that you can move forward in your personal development. And I had to eventually learn to, look at myself in the mirror and say that I love you. To love yourself helps you be the best and be able to see the value that you have in yourself. If you're saying I love you in the mirror, you're telling yourself I value myself. And when you value yourself, then other people will begin to value you as well. And you'll start to do those things that might have been holding you back. You begin to hurdle over those and actually make progress in your life. Let's talk about mission, vision, and values. So your vision is where you want to go on a macro level, right? And you could do this for your team. You can do it in your personal life. You can do it for your family. So where do you want to go on a macro level, right? And then how do you get to your vision, right? What's the specifics? So let's say I want to create a team of highly educated real estate agents that have the mindset of doing what is best for our clients, and that's our passion, right? So that's my motto there. Doing what is best for our clients and is our passion. So if I have a team of agents that align with that, that are looking to be servant leaders and help the people, those clients, those are the type of people that I want on my team, right? That's the vision that the team's going to have. We're all going to be on the same page, right? And everyone understands and has they know what's expected of them, and you can use this basically to make sure that everyone in the organization is on the same page as to what we're doing and how we operate, right? So how do you get to your vision? Let's say that's, we want to get to $50 million a year as a team, or $100 million a year team as sales, right? And so we need to sell, say, 250 houses, right? You need to have 250 transactions to get that. And how are we going to specifically do that? What's our GCI, or gross commission income? So these are things that you're going to create into your mission statement. And then our values, these are your uncompromising beliefs. These are things that are the rock, the core of everything you do. It can be faith, integrity, excellence, ambition, perseverance, fun, health, respect, legacy, power, spirit, collaboration, and even charity, right? We want to give back to the communities that we're serving. So these are things that you can work on. If you need more information, just reach out to us. Then the next thing is to develop a wealth mindset. Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but he also wrote a follow-up book called Cash Flow Quadrant. In my real estate investor club, we actually play a game called Cash Flow, which teaches people to look at investments. How do we look at investments, right? How do we find value in real estate, but also stocks and bonds and so forth? So one of the things that I looked at when I moved over from EXP to Real Broker was the stock. I couldn't go back in time and buy EXP stock at $3 a share, right? But I could get a better organization with better leadership, and stock was like $1.80 when I moved to Real Broker. And I saw value. I saw the value. I wanted to be at the beginning of a company that was going to go through a wave similar to EXP, but with a different motive, right? To really actually help those agents, to make sure that all agents, no agent left behind, right? We want to make sure that every agent, we're not just bringing people in. We want to make sure everyone's taken care of, and that they succeed in the goals that they have. And that's a wealth mindset, that we're helping everybody out. And we grow together. It's going to be collaboration. So through this cash flow game, you'll see it's kind of like the dividing line is down the middle. You've got 4 ways to reduce income. The first one is as an employee. As an employee, you have no leverage, and they have the least amount of wealth, right? And then self-employed, which most real estate agents are going to fall into the self-employed, where you own your own job. You become the marketing person, you become the video person, you become the accountant, you become doing, all these things you have to do until you make enough money or have enough money to be able to outsource those things. But ultimately, you still don't have a business yet. The definition of a business is going to be, you can go on vacation and you're still going to keep making money. Versus if you're still on the left side here, as a self-employed person, you still have to have a transaction in order to generate income. Now, there's certain ways that we can help agents on our team where they can make a little bit of money between all of that. And you can reach out to us about those things that you can do. But for the most part, between transactions, you're literally making no money. So you've got to always find your next paycheck by having another transaction. You're looking for another client, right? A true business owner, and you can build a business at Real Broker as well, or in real estate in general. You become a business owner when you create a system, and the system then creates income. Now, when you create income, you're obviously going to put some back into the business, but you also want to start learning how to look for deals, how to become an investor, right? We are actually owners of our company here at Real Broker, and that's one of the things that I love. I'm actually investing into the company that I'm helping grow. And as an investor, these can be, real estate as rental properties, right? We do owner financing, other stocks and bonds, crypto is now out, NFTs now out. So there's all these new things that people could need to learn about because they're going to be in the future, right? And so as an investor, it's real important that you build basically a portfolio of assets, and the assets produce an income. So ultimately, you're not living off the income of the business. You're not living off the income of what comes out of the business. You're actually keep buying assets. And from those assets, you're going to have a wealth mindset, and you're going to live off the income that comes from the assets. And so you always think about like the goose that lays a golden egg. You're always going to have this goose that keeps laying golden eggs for you. And so residual income or passive income is a wealth mindset. And these are things that we help you do. I highly recommend getting some kind of education. Read this book called Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. Start to learn so that you're no longer trading time for dollars, because you only have so much time in a day, right? You start building a team, you start building a business at Real Broker, create some income. There still has to be transactions for us to get the overrides, the residual income, but then take those and learn how to create more, how to buy assets so that you can live off that income and create. Basically, what I was looking for was time and freedom. When I began to research and find this, I was looking for time and freedom to be able to spend with my family, to be able to take care of my family, to have the ability to make decisions not based on income, right? Whether you went to the hospital or didn't go to the hospital, what happens to my mom and dad when they retire and so forth. I didn't want to be dictated by income, and so becoming an investor and having a wealth mindset will give you more choices, basically. And lastly, become a servant leader. I'm blessed to be surrounded by three or four people here in the state of Texas, actually. One of the gentlemen on our We Grow Together mastermind is Matt Middlestat, who you met earlier. There's his information in case you need to get a hold of him. Jason Boland is in the Boland team. Realty Group is in Houston and services the Houston area. So if you have a referral, definitely reach out to them. Jonathan Silva, I didn't put it there, but he's with a 210 number. He's in San Antonio, and I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So reach out to us. We have the website, We Grow Together, No Agent Left Behind, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Agent Left Behind. Real Value is the name of our YouTube channel. And then I have one last thing to share with y'all from Les Brown. And I actually was in Amway years ago, and I got to see him on stage. And he was such a motivational speaker. I loved everything that he provided, and still it works today, everything that he's put out to help people in their personal growth. And one of the things that really stuck out to me was this thing that he said, if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you'll gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness or pain, or body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God, you'll get it. Go forth and make a difference in the world. Thank you, Matt. Back to you.
Hey, thanks so much. And Jerry, let's give a round of applause for Jerry. Very inspirational stuff. It really is just a true blessing to be around you, Jerry. And, like he was saying before, a bunch of us agents here in Texas, we just want to be able to give back to you guys, the agents, no matter where you're located, what brokerage you're with, because we really do believe in We Grow Together, No Agent Left Behind, and giving free value back to you so that you can go out there and be successful and you never have to feel like you're left behind. Okay. So thanks again for joining the channel. David, thanks for coming on this channel as well. and,
Thanks, David.
always trying to learn. And again, guys, we'll see you next week with a new subject. This will be on the YouTube channel. Share it with your friends, anybody you know in real estate, or maybe because this is mindset, maybe you've got a friend that needs to hear some of this positive stuff that can help them out there. And like I always say, work hard, be kind. Okay. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much, Jerry. Thanks so much, David. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Matt.